Riverside.
Done did it.
All right, puppy.
We made it.
Christmas
freaking made
time.
it.
Christmas special. Let's party.
So you get an extra special this or that
Okay.
because it's the season, right? So
What you got for me?
I got married, right? Well, as a kid, I remember at my mom's parents' house,
Okay.
we'd meet Christmas Eve and we'd open up
Your
presents.
nana's house.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'd meet Christmas Eve and open up presents at midnight. And then we go back to the house the next day. We'd wake up, and my parents, they lied to us, right? But this is kind of lying I like. They lied to us.
Parents never lie.
Oh, no, even if it's a lie, it's the truth. So we wake up the next morning, and then the whole like Christmas story thing, like a bunch of presents were out, like Santa brought it to us. So I believe in Santa. I don't know how old I was, but yeah, I was like, oh wow, that's amazing. I was blown away by Christmas movies, trying to figure out by logic. And then I got married, and then the night before, she wants to open up all the gifts. So here's the this or that. We open up the gifts the night before at midnight or the day of.
That's easy. That's easy. You're asking. I mean, you're asking the important. You're asking the right question.
This is the right question.
This is the. I mean, that's what we do. We talk about the important stuff, the things that matter. And should you open presents at midnight, right after Christmas Eve, or Christmas Day? That's easy. Right after Christmas Eve. That's why you stay up. We like to party.
We like to party.
We like to party. Yeah. So we would stay up. We'd hang out with all my cousins and my family, my uncles, my aunts, my grandparents, roaming the streets, especially in San Luis. But at midnight, you were ready. You go and you give the abrazo, Feliz Navidad, whatever. Sometimes there'd be a little bit of singing.
Do you ever have Christmas carolers like in the front yard?
Kind of.
In the 80s, that one time Christmas, and I thought it was gonna be normal forever, and I thought it was so cool.
But we would do well, I never really did it, but like sometimes like some of my family would do the pedir posada,
Yeah.
And there's, I don't know, I couldn't sing the song to you, but that's part of the whole
you can
kind of thing. But opening up presents right after midnight, that was like the best because you stayed up, and at midnight it was now Christmas.
Yeah. And
once you gave your hugs out, said Merry Christmas to everybody, hug grandma, hug grandpa, and everything. Christmas time, presents. Boom.
What's another word for Americanized?
Americanized?
Yeah.
Like another word? Assimilated?
Pocho?
Oh, okay. Well,
like that, right?
Kind of pocho.
So I never realized how pocho I was until I got married, because mine preferably is Christmas Day, right? Because everything I told you. I remember I got this bike one time, because the 1980s, right? That was a movie that came out, was rad. That was literally what the movie was called. And BMX tricks, and I thought it was cool. And then my neighbor had like a quarter pipe, and I was terrible at it, right? I would eat crap all the time. But anyways, case in point is I was all into that stuff, and then one Christmas, my parents, I was smaller, but I had to be 8, 9 years old. I don't know. My parents bought me this bike, and I remember it was like the coolest thing in the world. Just waking up Christmas morning, my parents were drinking coffee and all that, and then there was a bike there, right?
Was that your first bike ever?
No, but it was my first chingon bike.
Oh, okay.
That was, man, that thing for years.
I remember my first bike
until my buddy Robert Thomas. It ended up at his house. He said it wasn't his. He even repainted and everything like that. Yeah, and then he went to the NFL, and now it don't matter.
Now, who are you?
Yeah.
But my first bike wasn't actually on Christmas, and it was on Dia de los Reyes Magos, January 6th.
Yeah.
Right? And that's when we got our bikes. And that's, some people refer to it as the second Christmas. It's not Christmas, but sometimes we get gifts. Not big gifts, but one of the biggest gifts I ever got, especially because there were so many of us. We talked about how, we grew up not having a lot in my family because there's so many brothers.
Yeah.
And a sister. But I remember when I first got my first bike, it was like unforgettable because my oldest brother got a bike, My second oldest brother got a bike, and I got a bike.
Yeah.
And us three got bikes, and my oldest brother got a black one.
Yeah.
My brother got the red one, and I got the blue one. It was like different colors, but it was the same. I was a BMX. I was like, it was a shit.
Yeah.
But you are used to presents, Christmas Day.
We opened one up like the night before.
Okay, so you do a mix, right?
Yeah.
And so you put out a survey recently.
Oh yeah, and right now the polls are at 70-30.
So about 70% said Christmas Eve or like midnight, right? Oh, you call your mom?
Yeah, I need to ask questions.
These are important.
Let's see if she answers.
What's up?
Hey, Mom.
Mom, I'm on air. I'm recording right now, but I need to ask you why did we open presents Christmas Day? Because I feel like everybody, anybody's Mexicans opens at Christmas Eve, and we did both. And I love it. I'm a fan of the Christmas Day thing. Why do we decide to go Christmas Day?
Because that's what everybody does.
Okay.
Yeah, we weren't as Mexican, I suppose, and we shouldn't,
Shouldn't be. It was a good time. Okay, Mom.
We could have been.
All right, thank you, Mom. Had to ask.
You're always allowed one present. Your choice,
at midnight.
Christmas Eve.
But it wasn't an argument with you and my dad, right? It was just you guys just went that direction.
It was an agreement. Yes.
Yeah.
But a Santana family, none of them do the 24th. So.
No. Yeah. Okay. Wait a minute. Okay, Mom. Thank you. Okay, bye.
Nope.
You just got
there it is.
So, I mean, that's typical. Do you open presents Christmas Eve or Christmas Day? Christmas Eve. There you go.
Yeah. Apparently, I'm that guy.
So that's where a lot of us are used to.
Yeah.
Around here, but yeah, I mean, I think it is culturally a difference where.
You look around.
So
we don't have books.
But
it's funny.
Culturally, even within the Hispanic community, there's a slight difference because you do a hybrid now, right? One at midnight.
No, my parents did the hybrid.
Oh, I thought you.
Now my wife, she ruined everything, and she just went straight. No, we were doing a Christmas Eve because that's the way she'd always done it.
Because that's the right way to do it.
Yeah. Well, according to the polls, it's overwhelmingly
according to the Surgeon General.
70-30.
Surgeon General says it's healthier at midnight.
Yeah, but I never thought of that to ask with my mom before. That's why screw it, I'm calling her right now because she always has interesting answers, and I had to tell her we're on the show because my mom needs to filter herself because she says, "Well, you went around like this, right?" Yeah. You've been around my mom.
You are your mother's son.
I'm my mother's son. So yeah, it's a hot topic and so many good memories, both Christmas Eve, but even Christmas Day, and just with gifts or just whatever. But
I feel
very
like
fond of all
I feel like
the movie, the Christmas Story, which so maybe this is a good segue. This is a good segue. We'll talk about the greatest movies of all time. But one of my favorites growing up was the movie Christmas Story with Ralphie. The kid, you shoot your eye out. Yeah. The whole movie, everything. You shoot your eye out. You're stupid.
It's Italian. Fragile.
I need that lamp, by the way.
So
that's right. Jackie had it.
Jackie has that one. We'll put it on.
It's like, you shoot your eye, shoot it, and they're like, all right, he's all sad. He's not gonna get his gift. Then all of a sudden, Christmas Day, boom. They're done opening these presents. The kid's all sad, like little bitch. And then the dad says, no, why don't you go check over there behind the couch? And he goes and he finds the bee. He's all excited. Goes outside and like to me that's what Christmas Day was, but
and there is something to say about the anticipation as a kid, like I gotta go to sleep because I gotta wake up to presents.
Obviously, it creates nostalgia either way.
We probably didn't do that because we didn't get many gifts. We got Christmas presents. I'm not.
And you never you never believed in Santa?
Yes, I did.
Oh, really?
But I remember, I was in 4th grade.
You thought you were a bad kid?
I remember. 4th grade,
or it's midnight. We gotta go home. Santa's coming.
I remember distinctly in 4th grade not believing in Santa no more, but trying to persuade my little brother and my little cousins that he existed.
Yeah.
And so my cousin you believe in Santa? But I'm like, hey, I'm trying to
fool.
Yeah. Like you're lame, whatever. But at a certain age, kids, make fun of each other. Like, you believe in Santa? But I was in 4th grade.
Yeah.
So Santa wasn't around in my life.
It makes me
for too
happy
long.
when, like, I used to look at my uncles. They used to pretend like who is it? Kukui was in the back shed showing up,
or
and
La
it was pitch
Llorona,
black.
Yeah.
Like, hey, the Kukui is back there. It's back behind the shed, and they would go back. Oh crap! Like
Did
they
you
got
ever
your Uncle
see?
Johnny, and we'd be all freaking out.
Did you ever see El Cucuy?
No, not yet.
But did you believe him?
Yes.
What about Santa? Did you ever see Santa?
I know, but I believe.
Okay.
I believe.
So that's a good way to get into the brief history of Santa. How did Santa come to be? Where did Santa come from, and how did this whole, like, because now Santa's a huge marketing
dude. It's
tool, right?
That's a beautiful thing about American holidays. Like you're like, well, I don't believe in that, and no, it's winter break. No.
Is it marketable?
We're past the religion thing. Everybody's like, well, this is the
in a
reason,
capitalist society like
the
America.
reason for the season, and I am very much a Constitution guy, and you could worship whatever religion you want, but a lot of the things that's institutionalized, even beyond religion, is American marketing scheme. So with Halloween, people like celebrate because it's like what do they say? It's a heathen, like holiday for heathens and whatever. No, but it's Halloween. It's great, right?
I've heard like people say, "Oh, you're celebrating the devil."
Yeah, it's like really. The United States of America makes a lot of money, generates a lot of money. And of course, Christmas.
It's a Hallmark calendar.
Christmas is supposed to be the last Thursday of Thanksgiving. This year it's a week early. This past year is a week early. I don't know if you knew that. We were in school on the last day of November, but Thanksgiving happens a week before. Why did we put it a week before? Extra week of Christmas shopping. Yeah, we pull those stunts. It's
genius.
Yeah, it just happens every now and then, right?
I'm still gonna procrastinate.
The Black Friday, yeah.
Still gonna procrastinate
later, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, every Friday, whatever. But it turned into a thing. So how did it come up? We were going through this yesterday. Of course, we have the old thing. The night before Christmas is where the traditional Santa started. I guess it was written in 1822. The night before Christmas, and all through the house, while all the Mexicans were waiting for midnight to come. All the weirdos are fast asleep with the chocolate chip cookies on the fireplace because Mexicans didn't have a fireplace, right?
We have buñuelos.
We didn't have a fireplace. Yeah. So we had cookies, and then the milk right there.
Champurrado.
Can you imagine how gross that would be? I guess, if Santa was a thing, right? Be showing up at random people's houses.
Wait.
And what?
Santa's not real?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But then you drink rotten milk? Like, what if it's not pasteurized and Santa gets, and then it ruins Santa's night?
What if Santa is lactose intolerant?
Actually, there's a 40% chance he is not, because based on this, it's the ethnic background.
Oh.
Yeah, if you're European,
there's a science behind it.
Yeah, so if you're not European, you're 60%. It's a 60% chance that you're lactose intolerant. I don't know if you knew that. So we are 60%.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
So I love milk.
But if you're European, then hardly any of them are lactose intolerant. Something like that.
Should we just leave them like almond milk or oat milk?
Yeah, just don't give them soy, because then he's gonna grow chichis, right? So this happened. St. Nicholas, 280 AD 280. So it's 280 after the Jesus thing. Okay. Patara, modern day Turkey. I thought it was super fascinating, right?
Okay. That's right. It's close to like the Middle East, right? Like, kind of
between Constantinople, modern day Istanbul, and Israel, right? So there was this dude. They would go around, gave away all his inherited wealth to help the poor and sick. He even saved 3 poor sisters from being sold into slavery.
Oh, dang,
so that's where the legend starts, right? They actually celebrated that day on December 6th back then. It was like a lucky day where people actually try to get married on December 6th.
Okay.
But then, so that was in like the 200s.
So he was 300s. Like a savior.
Yeah.
Captain Save a Girl.
Yeah, so it's kind of like this Robin Hood figure, but he wouldn't steal from the rich or whatever. He just, he stole from his own pocket, but you get the idea. Give away, help kids, and a lot of just that's naturally in us. That's naturally, like that's why everybody's so successful right here at the border. When you cross the border back from Mexico to U.S., so many people are right there, and they're not even selling you anything, and you'll just feel bad and give them money because that's naturally in us, right? Yeah. Most of us. Yeah. So capitalized, and then in the 1700s, it came back.
Sinterklaas.
Sinterklaas. Yes, we have the what are all the nicknames for him?
The ones I think of Saint Nick, Saint Nicholas, Kris Kringle.
Yeah, Kris Kringle is German. For Christ's child. I never knew that. That's what Kris Kringle means. Yeah.
I mean, those are the ones I think of. Other than
So
Santa.
it evolved in 1876. Washington Irving, the same guy that wrote Rip Van Winkle and Sleepy Hollow, wrote a little something about the Santa Claus character. And 1876. But the modern day thing, 1822, the night before Christmas was written.
This is the marketing side of it.
And this is the this is the marketing side. So everything after the 200 is marketing side. And then no, where is it? What was I going to tell you? Oh yeah, 1881. Thomas Nast, famous in U.S. history for making a bunch of political cartoons, posted in Harper's Weekly. The modern image of Santa Claus, like with the panza and with a bunch of toys and the sack in the back, and
he's got a long pipe.
Smoking the pipe. You see,
Santa.
Yeah, this is modern day Santa. So and now it evolved into what it is today. Oh, that I guess in Scandinavia the sleigh was drawn by goats for a while, but the United States turned into the reindeer thing and the elves thing. And
so, what's more marketable, Rudolph or a goat?
Yeah, I'll take Rudolph. Yeah. Can you imagine Santa's flying through the air, and whatever the hell the sound is? I can do the sound again. Like, shut the hell up! You're smacking the reindeer and like, shut up, fool.
Anyways, but so a lot of it comes back to Americans' ability to market things, right? That's what we do. Yeah. We market things. How do we?
This is America.
How do we make a profit out of it?
Profit over people. Damn right, this is America, right?
That's right. Yeah. So, and what you see now today is, seasonally, we celebrate Halloween in different ways, 4th of July, but it comes like, how is it visible that we celebrate Christmas? Well, dude, look at your classroom. You got lights here. Look at these sweaters. These are ugly sweaters, right?
This is for a kid that didn't come by today. He was supposed to give me 10 tacos right here. And so guess what? This is not going to go to circulate in his pocket and to grow the economy in that way. And instead, I will give it to you because you gave me this $20 anyway.
Okay. I'll grow the
economy. And you're going to go grow the economy in other ways. You're going to take it back to Yuma and spend it over there.
I'll probably spend it after.
Oh yeah, because we're going for drinks after this. That's right.
So yeah, that's where I'll spend it.
Yeah.
But should I leave a tip? I don't know.
That's a whole other episode, baby.
That's a whole different question.
Definitely. Maybe you should watch.
So then I kind of think about before because you can't have Christmas without Christmas movies, right?
Yeah.
So we talked about
talked about A Christmas Story.
Christmas Story is a great one, and my favorite part is when the dad's like fragile, whatever.
Yeah.
But if you've never seen Christmas Story, it's an old school movie. It's funny, regardless of how old you are. It's a funny story. It's a funny movie.
So Mount Rushmore, you talking about doing a Mount Rushmore Christmas movie?
And it's always hard, right? We've had several Mount Rushmore topics, right? But before we get into that, I'm curious, and we didn't research this, but maybe somebody else can help us out with this. Where did ugly sweaters come to be? Like, how did the tradition of an ugly sweater come to be?
I don't know, but it's great. I just like at a Christmas party, you're wearing a stupid sweater, but what do you got? Oh, you have the reindeer, right?
For now.
And then of course you have Merry Christmas.
And I was gonna get a Mike Tyson one, but it wouldn't have gone here on time.
No,
and I didn't want to pay $80.
Dude, we've been talking about this for 3 weeks,
and it wouldn't have gone here on time. The one that I wanted, it was a Mike Tyson one. I'm sorry, Mike Tyson. But I was like, you know what? I don't like waiting, and I want to make sure I get it on time. So I got a different one.
Yeah,
and I'll show it to you in a moment. But I don't know. Where did the tradition of ugly sweaters come to be? If anybody knows, let us know. Shoot us some information our way.
You should have Googled it, eh?
Yeah, but
como Kris Kringle.
But it doesn't happen very often where we have a clear-cut agreement across the board. And this time, Mount Rushmore Christmas movies, we had all 4 the same.
I debated there's a movie called The Santa Claus from, I think it's 1986. It's kind of corny, whatever, and it had I can't remember the comedian off the top of my head, but he played an elf. No. I do not like Tim Allen.
Then it's not that good. Then.
That's
why it's not on the list.
I do not like.
You can go into like
Tim Allen was actually a
Jingle All the Way with Arnold. And,
yeah.
I mean, Christmas Story is good. It could arguably make the list.
Yeah.
But,
so we settled on a mutual, like we're on the same page as far as what our Mount Rushmore is, and there's a Jingle All the Ways. There's the Santa Claus. There's A Christmas Story, which they used to play 24 hours, but I think that dipped. I actually asked my class, hey, raise your hand if you've seen the movie A Christmas Story with Ralphie shooting his eye out. You know how many kids raised their hand? 0. That blew me away. When they used to show it, I think on TNT, for 24 hours.
Well, you know why, though, also? And I think it comes back to the fact that, and there's kind of a disconnect nowadays.
Well, we'll get into our both of our favorites of all time.
But I think a lot of it has to do with kids don't watch, like younger kids don't watch TV anymore.
There's not because in the
There's
80s and 90s,
there's no like cable like we have.
Yeah.
Now it's more streaming.
We had no choice to watch it. Everybody watched the nightly news because we only have 13 channels.
Where do most people consume their media? And cell phones, and so it's easier to go to YouTube, go to Netflix on your phone. I think that's part of it. That's part of it.
We talk about some of these guys in our department who sit there and read like the New York Times and everything off the internet, and they give me information. I'm thinking, yeah, I just saw it in some meme on Instagram. Got the same information in 2 seconds. It took you 10 minutes to read. I got it in like 2 seconds. Yeah. So just by a picture.
Let's go ahead and.
But I have a small brain like that.
With our first Mount Rushmore.
Okay.
Let's get into it right away. And this is a pretty popular one. A lot of kids actually like this one too. Home Alone, Part 1. What do you like about Home Alone? Because it's a classic.
It's just iconic. Like I feel like everybody knows the lines.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
And by the way, did you know the mom was 36 when she made that movie? The mom in that movie?
Huh.
Interesting,
and
right?
Did you know? And I didn't make this connection right away.
Yeah.
But the mom, Kevin's mom, is also in Beetlejuice.
That's right.
Yeah,
Lydia Dietz.
Yeah, she's in Beetlejuice. Right.
So,
Lydia Dietz. Favorite part in Home Alone? I mean, there's so many, but one that kind of I don't know why, when I remember watching as a kid, the part I really liked is where he dubs the recording of the movie that he's watching. He's like, "Merry Christmas, you filthy animal." And I always like that part.
It's classic.
So, and then like him order a pizza and like recording a song with the inflatable doll dancing and stuff like that, make it seem like he's not home alone. Yeah. But that part, "Merry Christmas, you filthy animal."
Dude, things we don't just see. You see that house, and that's in the north side of Chicago, and it's barely started coming out recently. Like, dude, what did Kevin's parents do for a living to have that big ass house?
Mansion.
They're flying the entire family to freaking Paris, right? Is that what they went? For a week, and they're paying for everybody because they had like the cheap Uncle Frank. Yeah, they're paying for everybody.
I'm like, dude, I want his job.
Dude, he's probably a teacher
in California.
In California, that's right.
I don't know. Next one, classic, man.
We both agreed on that easily, right?
Easily. And
this one is more debatable, but with no doubt. God, yeah.
What was your favorite part of the Gremlins?
Let's see. It's always like when the Gremlins actually mutate into the crazy alien-looking things. Oh yeah, because there's Mogwais, and they're the furry ones. And then they eat after midnight.
Don't eat after midnight.
And then they turn into gremlins. And then they're like smart. They're really smart. But when they're doing their little, like they put lipstick on, they're doing these little skits in the room, and they're partying, they're drinking beer, smoking a cigarette, and they take on these characters, kind of like we take on characters on Halloween, like that. But they're like taking on characters. Dude, that's what made it so like it's supposed to be a horror movie, and it is like, oh crap, that thing's scary. Yes. But dude, there's so many scenes in there.
That's why, as a kid, I remember because it's an '80s movie. I was never scared of Gremlins because it was like, you had like these little monsters, but it wasn't scary. Yeah. Because it was funny, and that's what I enjoyed about Gremlins so much, is that it was funny. The phrase "Gizmo Caca," that was like, as a kid, I thought that was the funniest things ever. But it's more of a comedy than
anything. It had childhood crush of mine, Phoebe Cates. Yeah. Anyway.
Okay, I digress.
That time at Ridgemont High. Yeah. Phoebe Cates. Don't Google it, kids.
Yeah. But do. Yeah. Next one. I saw this the other day. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Love that movie.
You know, we mentioned The Night Before Christmas, and I guess him and his family in that movie, they had a tradition of reading The Night Before Christmas. On Christmas Eve, the night before Christmas, they would they would read it, right?
They probably open Christmas.
But just the idea that I get all excited. So it happens Thanksgiving break. I get all excited. We start putting up. My wife does the inside of the house. I go on the outside, start getting down. And I've always wanted to light up my entire freaking house, just like Clark Griswold. That dude was my freaking hero.
Yeah.
Just because of all that, like how crazy it got on Christmas decorations, and one little thing, if one little light is off, it messes up. And I've had that's where these lights come from. These are the lights I've used the past 3 years, and I just got tired of them because if one little bulb was out, I got to replace a whole line. So every year I'm Googling trying to find these stupid things again.
Yeah, these are legit. Yeah, and then you have the family dynamic.
Cousin Eddie shows up. Shit is full.
Cousin Eddie. Then the in-laws, the parents, and it was just like it was one of those things where you can find certain things about the family dynamic that is relatable.
Family.
That is relatable,
because you love your family, but at a certain point, it's like, all right, I'm sick.
Once you spend so much time together, it's just like
everybody's sick of everybody. Yeah. Everybody's like, there's a scene where Clark grabs the eggnog and just starts chugging it. Actually, that's the first time I think I told my wife, no, there's supposed to be alcohol in the eggnog. My mom used to make eggnog with alcohol in it.
I never had eggnog.
Yeah, you know why? It's because you're not Americanized enough. Apparently, I never realized.
Champurrado is better. That's
I never realized.
Champurrado is better.
Look, I knew I was Pocho. I knew it. My Spanish skills terrible, my accent, everything. But the longer I'm around, the more I realize, especially when it comes to Christmas. Like, wait, you've never had eggnog?
Okay.
Wait a minute.
What's better?
You open up the
eggnog
egg?
or champurrado?
Oh, well, champurrado.
But easy one.
But no, it's like an Americanized thing. Like eggnog. Why have I had eggnog? Because that's what my mom did with me. She was a future English teacher, by the way.
That's true.
Yeah, English.
I didn't realize this until the other day. In National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, Elaine from Seinfeld is the neighbor.
That's right.
Like, holy crap!
That's right.
And it's funny when you see certain movies, you look back to it and you're like, see what the characters, and the other actors, you're like, oh dang, this person was in it. Oh dang, this person was in it. But this movie, 1989. I didn't realize that it came out in 1989. So it's an 80s movie.
Yeah.
Wow. Anyways, last but not least, for this one,
the reason why, so we talked about Christmas Story. They show it 24 hours a day, and I asked the class yesterday, surveyed two of my classes. 0 people have ever seen the Christmas Story because they don't show it 24 hours the night before anymore. You know what they do show 24 hours now? Please.
Okay. Well, before I share, this is we both agreed on this. I got to do something special for this one here. Got to turn the lights off for us.
Oh, please.
And this is a special one. And when you talk about greats, give me a second here.
I feel like there should be a drum roll.
Sure. You ready?
I am.
So this one is a classic for all ages. This one's a little bit more modern, even though it's not very recent.
Yeah.
Came out in 2003.
Don't turn on yet.
No. It came out in 2003, and the main actor in this movie is he's on my Mount Rushmore of actors.
Oh yeah, I think I also put him there. Yeah.
And it's Will Ferrell.
Hit it.
So 3, 2, 1. Boom.
Oh.
How bright is that? Elf. It's a classic, it's one that anybody can watch and anybody will enjoy.
So
we both showed it in our classes. We're done with finals, so
we actually I always stop at about the time that he has Jovi out because I said, like, everybody's too caught up in what the friends think. Every girl falls for this. No. The older we get, the more we realize no girl takes. There's no such thing as universal game. Like everybody's different, right?
Kids call it Riz these days.
They call it. Is that what Riz is?
Oh, you got the Riz. It's like you got game.
Thank you. I needed to know
swagger.
The Riz. And then the date scene. And what's so beautiful about the date scene is, like, he's not worried about the things that we worry about in culture. Oh, is she gonna think this? Should I take her to Olive Garden? Or no stuff like that. he takes her to what he believes. I want to give her the world's best cup of coffee, which is just crappy.
Blindfolds her.
Yeah, he blindfolds her and everything. She's like, this is, that goes spinning around. And what are those doors called?
The spinning doors.
Yeah, and she's like, this feels crazy. But
rotating doors.
Once he does that, you could see her face change. You're like, man, this guy's for real.
Yeah.
Like this guy is really being himself. He's putting himself, and that's, to me, that's the most beautiful thing you could do in the world is be yourself. When we talked about this on the show, what does it take to do showbiz? You have to be willing to make a fool out of yourself. So there's something called the Russian model in dating, and it's the idea that you should just be yourself from the first day. Like, just don't bullshit your partner.
What you see is what you get.
Yeah. So if they like it, great. If they don't like it, screw it. You move on. It takes out a lot of the, whatever.
All the BS.
Yeah. So I think it's the greatest dating scene. By the way, New York during Christmas, son of a bitch.
Never been.
Beautiful.
I've been in New York in the summer and
yeah. No.
I think I want to go in the winter.
No, you want to go in the winter.
Favorite scene from Elf? Man, I can't pick one. I really like when he's in the mailroom. And then, we got a problem in the mailroom. Yeah. This and that, and he's over there like, whoop, there it is. Yeah. He's doing like the what do you call it? The
when you
that thing, that move.
When he fights Miles Finch, the midget.
I was like, call me Elf one more time.
Yeah.
He's an angry elf.
Yeah. Or classic.
Call me Elf one more time. He must be from the South, he says.
Oh,
from the South Pole. He must be from the South Pole.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, that's a class. And the character in the elf, he's Game of Thrones.
That's right.
He's in the Game
That's
of Thrones.
right.
He's a man.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, that's a Mount Rushmore. We came to an agreement on all four. You have National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, Gremlins, Home Alone, and obviously Elf. Can't go wrong with any of them. I think they're all, for the most part, family friendly. National Lampoon's might be some couple things here and there that might not be as family friendly, but it's still pretty friendly.
Didn't the grandpa sleep in the bed and he looks up and like the kid's got like a chick on the ceiling?
He's got the poster. Yeah. Like, why is he got his eyes open?
And the grandpa's like going to sleep all smiling.
He's all smiling.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, Mount Rushmore Christmas movies.
Kris Kringle.
Best thing I've seen all week.
Best thing I've seen. Okay.
Let's do this.
Oh yeah.
Let's see if you can win one. Let's rock and roll. Ready? Hey, this might be your day. Let's rock and roll. Ready? Oh! Merry Christmas! You finally won one.
So
my gift to you.
I'm always thinking of a few. One, and of course, one of them is like, all right. So there's gifts that normal kids give us as teachers, right? But a kid came up to me, or Santana, I would like you to have this, and this is a freaking sandwich. You just turn the lights on.
Yeah, let's go lights back on. Hold on. Ready?
Yeah.
Go. All right.
So this is a sandwich.
What the heck?
But this is not any ordinary sandwich.
Ham and cheese?
Here, Miss Santana, eat this. This is a 2-week-old sandwich. Yeah. And what's so funny about this is this is the kind of stuff I appreciate. So if you see in the back wall, Miss Santana's wall of shame. Sorry you made the cut. So everything, my theme in the class, I always talk crap to all the kids, and it's always a negatively positive spin on everything. Everything's always screwing around, clowning around.
Negatively positive.
Yeah, and negatively positive spin on everything, right? So that one, we always get great gifts, right? The fact that the kids think of you is just, it's nice. Insanely a compliment. Kids ask me, no, don't give me crap. And I don't want them spending their money on me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We even make good money because we're teachers in California.
Where do they keep the sandwich? In this backpack? There's no mold on it.
Mr. Cutting found it underneath some table that's been there for 2 weeks. But the thing that I really wanted to talk about was, okay, the Raiders and Chargers were playing last night. I don't care. I wasn't watching it. I kind of follow the Chargers. I know they're in the dumps, whatever. But at one point in the game, in the third quarter, by halftime, it was 42-0. The Raiders were winning.
Yeah.
Third quarter, it is 63-7.
Oh, that's right.
And the Chargers running back got a first down, and he stands up and he goes like this.
Like celebrating.
Like signaling, like celebrating. And I'm thinking, when I was coaching freshman football, we were playing Brawley.
Points.
We were playing Brawley one time, and a kid did that. He got up and signaled first down, and I think I might have cussed at him. I might have yelled into the field, and I'm not going to say his name, but I was like, dude, look at the
scoreboard.
Look at the scoreboard.
Scoreboard. Yeah.
Like, dude, get the hell off the field. And I wasn't the head coach or anything, but the other coaches didn't fight with me about getting him the hell off the field. Yeah. And me getting in his face about it, like being a, God, what a dipshit.
That's funny.
But anyways, also, I couldn't believe it. You're in the pros and he did that. That's just the scoreboard.
That's
63
That's
to
pretty
7.
funny.
So that was
I did
absolutely,
see it. I did see a
that
meme.
that was absolutely my best of the week.
I saw a meme about you're down 50 points and you're celebrating it. So,
God.
anyways,
Something
best thing all week.
Something.
Oh man, this is gonna be the best thing all off season. It's show time. Shohei Ohtani finally, what we've been waiting and hoping for a whole year. Since last year, I told you about this. Padres would win the offseason over and over again the past couple seasons. And we're like, you know what? You win the offseason, we'll win the division. We'll win during the season, right? Well, they didn't make a lot of moves last year for this moment. You finally signed Shohei Ohtani, best player in the world. He's a 2-for-1. Yeah, he's hurt. He can't pitch next year. But what he's going to bring to the field
You said he is pitching in 2024.
No, 2025. He had Tommy John surgery.
I thought you said in the press conferences going to
2025. But what that's also going to do is going to attract more talent, not just from around here, but from other parts of the world.
I can't believe that because of California taxes, that's why they finagled the contract at $2 million a year.
Well, no, they finagled it because Ohtani said, I want to win, so I will defer most of my contract to later, so that way we can sign more talent, more players, and win the World Series.
But why specifically $2 million?
Because
and I have to Google it, but it must be something that's California tax clause.
There's a couple
look
reasons.
California taxes me a lot.
Yeah.
Do you get hit by? Of course you do, right?
Let's not even talk about that.
Yeah. So California gets taxed on that, and you know what? I don't mind. You know why? Because we are the 5th richest economy in the world. California by itself.
Mm-hmm.
California by itself.
True story.
Yeah, you're welcome, America.
But what it does is that it lowers the hit on the luxury tax. So in baseball, there's a certain salary cap, right? And it's extremely high. Well, it's not a salary cap. It's a luxury tax. So if you go above this amount of money, if you go over by $1, then you're going to get taxed extra.
The NBA have that.
Yeah.
The Lakers always do that.
So to avoid getting hit with that money, because if you go back to back, you get hit even harder. And so to offset that, you stay under the luxury tax, and it allows you to not spend a ridiculous amount of extra taxes on your salary.
I never knew that.
So that's the luxury tax threshold. I think it's like 237 million.
Yeah.
So this year they're like about 100 million under that because of all the contracts that have been released.
Yeah.
Shohei said, "Give me $2 million per year for the next 10 years, the lifespan of my contract. After my contract's expired, pay me the rest." Who does that? Nobody does that. But he did it so that way LA can stay competitive and he wouldn't be a burden on that tax threshold and continue to have a better chance.
Look, as much as I don't give a shit about anything Renee's been talking about,
it's a good time to be a Dodger
I
fan.
will tell you that Shohei Ohtani is the greatest player since Babe Ruth, as far as like impact wise. Mm-hmm. Maybe other people might not feel that way, but he could throw like nobody. He could. Can he crank 100?
He is a 2-for-1 player.
He steals bases.
He hits for power.
He could do.
He hits for average.
Yeah, he
strikes out.
He doesn't just hit bombs. He hits long bombs. Yeah,
dude, I didn't realize how big he was until the press conference. He's 6'4".
Yeah,
he's huge.
Yeah.
So, Shohei, time. It's a good time. Best thing I've seen all week. So
that's stupid.
Hey, it's Christmas time. Let's get out of here. Let's go home. Let's party.
Let's go drink.
Feliz Navidad. Boom.